Welcome to Chapter 11, Unloading the Subconscious, in the ReBirthing series by Yogi Bhajan. This is the lecture part only. We have the ReBirthing Kriyas, which are incredibly powerful, available in a digital format. And at the time of this recording, we are going live every morning at 6:30 a.m. Central Time and practicing these Kriyas as a community. And it is incredibly powerful work. So buckle up, enjoy this, and if it's resonating and you really want to clean out your subconscious, to give yourself a chance to create the life you dream of, register in the description below. Okay, here we go. The idea is not to teach you a class. The idea is to take the garbage out. I don't care if you people come to classes or not anymore. My feeling is I am not well, I am not healthy, and medically they wanted me not to teach. On the other hand, I can't see people going around with a lot of junk. Why? You have not been told that it is a mental responsibility for you to see your own life through your own clarity. Not what other people counsel you, not what other people tell you. There's a very strange thing that I've learned by talking to some people in the last few days. They think it's the responsibility of someone else to tell you how to be good, how to be rich, how to be nice. Forget it. Nobody told me anything. I went, I found a teacher, I learned, I listened, I practiced, I went through the pain. What is this? On the one hand, you talk liberty, infinity, and this and that, and on the other hand, me and mine. And the problem I see with you people is that you have so much insensitivity. This was written in 1988. I, Tammy, am sharing this in 2023. We have a lot of insensitivity today. I would like to tell you something, and I want you to calculate it. You think you're great, but let me tell you how this universe works. God is funny. Anyone with a calculator can do it. Let us say the least. 1 wink means 1 ounce. We release 1,000 thoughts per wink of the eye. Let me repeat. 1 wink releases 1,000 thoughts. Each thought has a weight. It's called a psychomobile weight. It is a physical weight. Each thought produces a psychophenomenon which has a potential weight of 1/4 ounce. 1/4 ounce is the weight of the soul when it leaves the body. So 1/4 ounce is the only thing Edison and all those people, those scientists have found. Let us put it together. 1,000 times 1/4 ounce comes to what? We have 250 ounces per wink of the eye. And during the day, how many minutes are in a day? 24 hours times 60 minutes multiplied by however many seconds there are. So 36,000 ounces in the whole day. No, I mean 24 hours. Let's work it out. Multiply by 1/4 ounce. How many tons does it come to? It comes up to certain tons. I know. When I was taught, I knew. We used to calculate it ourselves. Okay, divide by 16. What does that bring? 1,350 pounds. It means you produce 1,350 pounds of psychophenomenon without doing a thing, without doing anything. How many miles a day do we move without moving? What was the calculation? Without moving, you move thousands of miles. The galaxy, our star, and our Earth, the whole thing is moving. So everybody moves. And that much psychophenomenon you produce a day, that is the weight you carry without doing anything. Out of all those thoughts you produce, one thought perhaps becomes a feeling, And then one of those feelings becomes an emotion. And one of the emotions becomes a desire. One of the desires becomes an objective. And from one of these objectives, out of 100,000 objectives, you become creative. And one creative act out of 100,000 potentials you accomplish. Now, where does the rest go? This is the situation. The rest goes into your subconscious and it is stored there. It gets so overloaded that you get dreams, daydreams. You think you're thinking, but thinking is nothing but a dream. Jagarat, Supa, Sukapat, Turiya. These are 4 stages of the mind. Jagarat means awakened. Supat means dream. We dream 23 and a half hours a day. Nobody on this planet sleeps more than 31 minutes, period. You can't. That sleep, when you do not know you are a man or a woman, good or bad, or alive or dead, is called Turiya. When Turiya becomes Chittar Turiya, that is what a saint does. He sleeps, leaves the body, goes and sees the inside world, serves and helps, and does the job. That is called Chittar Turiya. But normally, Turiya is 31 minutes and 24 hours. First, you go to bed, then you curl around, then you read the newspaper, then you doze, and you go to sleep. And that first stage is called getting comfortable. And then you move around. You move at night between 7 to sometimes 70 times to adjust a posture. I don't know. In the old days, I don't think people had to work. They were only observing what people do and how the mind works. These days, nobody has time. It's an antique thing. First, there was the carousel, the horses and ducks and elephants and dogs, whatever that was for children, to let them know how the waves of life move, just to teach them, to give them practical experience. That is how the carousel was first considered. Not that they were riding horses, it was just giving them that experience. Now even that experience is gone. One horse from one carousel was sold for $92,000. I freaked out. It was handmade, God knows, but people go crazy. However, life cannot move. Life cannot move. Day cannot move. You move on either a biorhythm or an anti-biorhythm. You do not move any other way. Your day starts when you first open your eyes, not when you finally wake up. Even if you are a blind person, you are only considered awake when you open your eyes. At that moment, you make a decision, and that is your decision, not mine. You decide whether you want to go with your biorhythm, North Pole or South Pole. That's it. If you start your day with a biorhythm, the day will be up and down. Vibrations mean up and down. It cannot be straight. There is no such thing as straight. So there is a biorhythm, and either you go with the biorhythm and experience a day of achievement, or you don't. And if you don't, you will have a day of deadly confrontation. You won't get to decide. It's not possible. And this is why we meditate and we chant to God. It is a selfish thing. It has nothing to do with God. God has no time to see. He's not going to come down here and see whether you meditate or not, whether you're good or bad. Who cares? What is this planet Earth? A little thing on which there are about, in 1988, it was 5 billion people, 5 billion souls. Today it's 8 billion souls stuffed in. And what does 8 billion souls mean? Anything? Nothing? So in the vicinity of divinity, your importance is hardly equal to one dropping of a pigeon. That is what the scriptures say. The value of the entire earth and its importance is equal to the dropping of a pigeon, one dropping of the pigeon. And the line is that you have to go through it and experience it without getting dirty in it. That is all they say. They don't say good things about planet Earth. There are other stars and galaxies where life is very important and very possible. And the intelligence and the sensitivity are tremendous. Much, much more than we have. But we have here a most enjoyable thing. It's called interlock of commotions. Please understand, interlock of commotions is the only thing that is both undesirable and most desirable. If your commotions are interlocked, there is no commitment. There's a very popular saying that my grandfather used to say, which I have heard all my life. He used to say, you don't end personal. I once asked him, what do we mean by commitment? Interpret it the way you want. Grandpa, I'm 6 years old. I want to know from you. That is why I'm telling you. Interpret it the way you want. Please explain what you are telling me. The commitment, the way you want to interpret it, it has to have a frequency. Let us put it at the frequency you want. If you give it the highest value, your commitment will become pure. Then God will work for you. If you give it the lowest value, then God will spank you. But God not be silent. The basic biorhythm called God. Religion has done the greatest disservice to God. First of all, religion has put God outside of you. That was to make money. I understand that. The church wants money. How can we get it? The church wants power. The church wants to bring people together. The church wants people to organize behind it. It's called a congregation, a congested force of people, of believers that can support the idea and pay the money. That's what it is. But beyond that, reality is what religion or science was about, because people want to go and explore their totality. How do we create harmony? How do we create happiness and harmony in a world of chaos? It cannot be created by your PhD degrees, by your wealth, by being married to a beautiful man or having a beautiful wife. I tell you, everything else is just zero. It's the droppings of a pigeon. I tell you what makes happiness. When you have the mental capacity to create absolute harmony with the central biorhythm, the universe does not rotate because you're doing it. It rotates because it wants to rotate itself. It is balanced and there is order. Life is given to you for happiness. The chief aim of man is to live in joy, in bliss, samadhi. Life happens for happiness, a simple law, but few can enjoy it because every action has to be rhythmic, and rhythm cannot be maintained when you are unconscious. Unconscious does not mean like when a ball hits you in the head and you go out for a minute. Unconscious means your little voice, your conscious voice, the voice of your big S self, which is all in your unconscious matters, talks to you. That is called unconscious, or we call it drib dristi, or you call it intuition. The real meaning of intuition is what the unconscious is. It's the connection of your highest self fully integrating into your human form. This is what we're looking for. This is the connection between the unconscious and the conscious. And then there is the subconscious, the storehouse. Conscious is good, unconscious is good, but when the subconscious gets overloaded, it comes through. It comes through in your fears, your blocks, your negative self-beliefs, and you get overloaded. Deadly dreams, wet dreams, dry dreams, yellow dreams, black dreams. There's a whole school that interprets dreams. I don't know what a dream is because I've never dreamed in my life, so I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what a dream is. I've never dreamed. I don't have any experience with what a dream is. But I know that dreaming is important, and it's an unloading of the subconscious. All of you who tell me you meditate, just tell me that you meditate, but don't lie about it. Meditation is never a good experience. When in meditation you do have a good experience, you're actually just having a good dream. Meditation is when you clean the garbage out of your subconscious. It's actually work. First meditation is when all the thoughts you think are dirty, which you reject or deny, come to you. And first, those thoughts that are ugly, dirty nonsense, those are what you rejected in the past, and then they're going to come through in the meditation. And it's why you have a hard time controlling those dirty, ugly thoughts that you have the capacity to think in the future will come. And in the third stage of meditation, all that you have lived and are going to live, or that anybody connected to you is going to live, is going to come. And in the fourth stage, you can be at peace. Chotai Padmi Mukti Pava. In the fourth stage, one is free. I am a religious man, and therefore I say this with, therefore I record this with a definite, humble apology, because I feel I should not say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. If in the future historians find it offensive, they can. But let me tell you something. There's nothing after life, because there are no tattvas after earth. Everywhere life is programmed. Here is what God calls will and free will. Free will is when you start wobbling. You go off the central biorhythm. That is free will. You know, if we go to New York, we have to catch that jet stream. We get there early, but if we have the opposing jet stream, we hang in there for hours. Start the day you open your eyes. Central biorhythm. Christianity in the church, Holy Ghosting is what the body of Christ was based on, or we call it angelic ghosting, unloading our subconscious. Today, we are going up there, that place in the top of the house where nobody goes, and where they store every leftover dirty thing, the attic. We are going to the idiot's attic in every human. Yogi Bhajan gives a disclaimer for this exercise. Do not participate if you have a heart condition or any special medical situation. It is you and it is your experience. So if you come out of this experience not the same, we have no responsibility at all, because it's your garbage, not ours. We're simply cleaning. Perhaps now he's just talking about the $10, you've paid, and this helps the yoga center, and I don't teach for that purpose. It's not my problem. Perhaps that is why I'm very rich. I've never taught for money, and I've never taught to initiate a student. I've never initiated one man in my whole life, because I feel like the biggest idiot in life is one who cannot initiate himself or herself, period. That is my belief. I'm not going to go after anything else, no matter how sick a person is or how negative a person is. I do not believe you have the right to decide when you can stop being sympathetic, kind, and compassionate. I, I don't believe that. Certain things I hate. Stop here, don't listen to you. The more compassion, I feel the dirtiest situation is there to test your love and your faith in God.